If you were to be in a musical, which musical would you want to be trapped inside of?
Ooh.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
How's it going, Abigail, Emily?
Nice to meet you.
Same here. Yeah, I just saw your performance. It's got me hyped and I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
And so my first question I want to ask, beyond that song, it's story or the lyrics is about just getting out of your comfort zone. And I want to ask each of you if there has ever been a moment that you remember, like, I'm outside here, but I feel like I'm doing something good. This is like good for my future.
Literally every day.
Every day.
Every day is scary. I'm scared all the time. But we all take these crazy leaps of faith all the time. And it's never not going to be scary, but I think being uncomfortable is good and it pushes you.
I think actually just recently we started working on a project for the stage, which is in a way so different than anything we've ever done because it's real. And and I felt like I really didn't know what I was doing. I was like, this might be such a learning experience and a learning curve, but you just have to do it, you know?
That's so funny.
You just have to
I
start.
totally believe that you were really confident because we just came from like a workshop week with it, and it was great. It was so
It
much
was great.
fun. And she was like, oh, I don't know, I like was kind of feeling self-conscious. I'm like, literally everything you wrote was so good.
I think that's like a funny thing too. Like before doing it, you have that feeling, but then when you're like in the mood, and everything just disappears.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
We're always so much more aware of our own things than other people are.
right.
Oh yeah.
And I know
so Moana 2 musical, and then you've also done the unofficial Bridgerton musical. So I guess like if you were to be in a musical, which musical would you want to be trapped inside of?
Ooh. Oh.
Like 42nd Street, which is
Oh.
like a tap show. I love a good dance show.
Oh, this is so hard.
As you're thinking, but Abigail, you would just be busy tapping.
I'm tapping away. I'm doing a little tap dance break while you figure it out.
There's so many to choose from, right?
I'm just going to say this is a really kind of random pick, but the set was so pretty and the dresses were so pretty, and I'm being a girl right now, but Anastasia,
Oh, yes.
It's a great
the
one.
stage version, which only was on Broadway for like 10 seconds, but it was really good.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite part of the Anastasia? For me, it was when the train sequence spinning around.
It was the way the ballroom was built. It was like kind of like an optical illusion, and the dresses, like I said. It was, just really
Oh,
pretty.
yeah.
It was like that classic musical theater, like everything's just beautiful.
And then for Moana 2, there's a lot of the songs you've written for it, and I was wondering what's the one song that just resonates with you the most?
Beyond,
Get lost. You know?
yeah.
Yeah. And okay, speaking of Get Lost, that one is about just kind of letting loose. And I was wondering for each of you, like in terms of just the creative process where you felt like the most like we're going to let loose and the final product's like, wow, this turned out well.
Yeah.
All the writing sessions. I mean, if you get too in your head, then you're like in this vicious cycle where it's just bad. And then you kind of just end up going nowhere. But getting the song Get Lost is all about kind of forgetting what you, like the world that you live in, and letting yourself feel that uncomfortableness and letting yourself kind of forge a new path, because taking all the old paths isn't going to work. Mm-hmm. And that's scary.
And then one of my favorite messages from Moana 2 is the connecting with other people, especially with Moana trying to go to the island and trying to bring it back up and have, I don't know, just reach out to others and just going out there. And I was wondering for each of you in terms of like connection, that moment where you're like, we're going to feed off of just like maybe a team, or just strangers, and how that felt for you. Like, oh, this is cool. This is what it means to connect with other people.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole process of working on a Disney film, especially an animated film, it's, you know, a crew of 700 people strong. You know, it's a village that it takes, and you become a very small part of a very big picture. And I think that was really important for my artists to understand and to learn how to function in, because, you know, we got notes, we had rewrites, we, you know, completely scrapped songs and started from square one. And that was something I had never experienced, but is so necessary for young artists to know how to do. It's just a skill that is really wonderful to learn. And there's nothing more fulfilling than watching something that took 1 million people come to life.
Yeah, I feel like human connection is so powerful, and I love that it's a huge theme of this movie. Like, we need each other to survive. And I will say the perfect example of that in my head, not surviving, but just the beauty of human connection, is an orchestra. I love it. Like, orchestras are my favorite thing on planet Earth, and when you take it apart, like, it's great. Each individual instrument is great, but when you come together and you have 80 people in harmony, like, creating the most glorious colors you've ever heard in your entire life, like, that's pretty beautiful. That's like 80 different people and 80 different, like, millions of hours of practicing and lessons and parents that drove them places and whatever. It's like when you think of, like, sorry, I could go on and on.
But yeah, thanks. That's all the time I have. But thank you for taking the time to do the interview. And yeah, I can't wait for, let's say in the future, you get to conduct an orchestra, and I'm down to go and watch it.
Hell yeah.